Welcome to Business Quickies with Kat, and today we're talking about naming your business. This question comes up so much within my community, and I'm super excited to start a conversation on this. Choosing a business is probably one of the most difficult things right after getting clients, and this is something that I personally spend days on before I chose even my first business name, never mind all the ones to come. So let's dive in, and I'm gonna help you out by giving you some of the questions that I've been asked before while naming my business that I think will really help you in the process. Let me just pull this up here. All right, and question number one is really, are you clear on your niche? Are you clear on your offer, and is it going to change? And I gotta tell you, this is not my first business, but this is the one that required a name change 1 year into the business. We started as a $1 million sisterhood, and we were planning on having our market as women entrepreneurs and helping them build and grow their businesses. But as it turned out, a year down the road, we found our true passion, which was really helping people create impact in the world and through the power of public speaking. And so we had to rename our business into Profitable Impact Academy. And the biggest thing about that is all the paperwork is a nightmare. So before you name your business, or if you haven't registered it yet, or you haven't registered a legal corporation yet, I highly suggest for you to sit down and really ask yourself, do you have clarity on who it is that you work with or you want to work with in the future? And is it going to change as it did for us? So you don't have to go through all the headache. Now, here's the thing, something to keep in mind. If you don't know all the other things you're going to offer just yet, chances are you really want to think about making it somewhat generic. Now, be cautious. Facebook does not like generic names when it comes to business pages. So don't name it too generic, but maybe you make an umbrella name, which underneath you can choose more specific names for your products and your services. Now, again, sit down, journal on this. Make sure that you know that you have clarity on who you want to work with, as chances are you're going to use either your niche name or your product, your service name, your offer name within your business name. Now, the second one is really, are you planning to ever sell your business? And that's the question of using your personal brand, AKA your first name, your last name, versus using a separate business name. Now, here's the thing. I highly recommend that even if you're not going to use your personal name as a brand on its own, that you go and register all of the social media platforms and your .com domain name with your first name, last name. As if you ever decide to be a personal brand, it's going to be extremely difficult or expensive to buy it from someone else. I've experienced this personally, where some of my clients tried to get their personal name, .com domain, and they couldn't because someone else had it and they didn't even use it. But my client had to pay $6,000 to buy it from the other person. So I highly recommend that. And I'm going to actually share a really cool tool with you. It's called Name Checker. It's a little bit misspelled. It's NAMECHECKR.com. So namechecker.com. So all Namechecker does is really it helps you check social media platforms as well as .com domains and see if they're even available. So as you're coming up with your business name, just make sure to pop it in. I just plopped in Apple, and clearly nothing is available for Apple. But if I'm gonna go for something like I don't know, Awesome Windows, let's see if there's anything available. And as you can see, some of the things are starting to pop up. So you can get a Facebook page. Twitter is taken. .com domain is taken. MySpace. Who uses MySpace? YouTube. You can definitely have YouTube, Reddit. So those are some of the accounts. This is really quick way for you to test names, so you can just cross out the names that are not available right from the get-go. I've done this before where I got really excited about a name and then checked and .com domain wasn't available. And in fact, it would be a really large company and it would be a copyright infringement to even use that name. So namechecker.com is going to help you out and make sure that you're on the right track. So here's the main difference between using your personal brand versus using your business name. Your business name implies that you're going to have a team in the future. So if you're a consultant or coach, sometimes you would just use your personal name, which is totally fine. And you can, of course, build your personal brand. For myself, I use my personal brand to share all of my businesses, as I own more than one business, and I would like to have my name known to the world. And so I'm building both, my business name and my personal brand. But again, just make sure that you register both. Your personal name, so your first name, last name.com, as well as social media platforms. Even if you're not going to use it, just register them so you have those unique links in the future if you do decide to, as well as your business name. Just make sure that you can register .com domain and all of the social media platforms that you're going to use, even if you're potentially going to use them in the future, not right now. Just register them up so you have that for grabs in the future if you decide to as you're growing. Honestly, there's nothing worse than being interviewed on the radio and then having to give completely different names for your Instagram and for your Facebook because, frankly, Instagram wasn't available anymore. It just creates so much confusion for your market, and you just want to create that consistency through your brand. So check that out and register it up. And then you got to ask yourself, does it tell people what is it that you do and what you stand for? Yes, it needs to be somewhat descriptive. So I've seen names that mean absolutely nothing to me. And so it makes it very difficult to, first of all, right from the glance, know what it is that you do. And second of all, understand how your brand fits into your values and what you're about and what you stand for. Therefore, really try to implement some of those keywords into your business name that are going to help people understand what your business does or what it is that you stand for. For example, Profitable Impact Academy doesn't really describe public speaking, but we created that as an umbrella brand. So if we do decide to create more products that are not just for public speaking, we can branch out into that. So Profitable Impact Academy, you know, it's an academy, it's going to be training, and it's impact driven, which is one of our core values. So it gives you some ideas. And the word profits, well, why not create profits while you're creating impact in the world? And that is really going to help your customers resonate with your business before they even buy anything. So it really makes it simple. Now, those are the main 3 questions that I highly recommend that you ask yourself while you're naming your business. But I'm also going to share some of the quick tips. So I'm just going to go through them. I have my little notepad here. I wrote them down. I didn't want to forget them. Those are just like no-nos that I've learned from my experience, from my client experience, that I want to make sure that you know. So here we go. Avoid unusual spelling. So Namechecker took out an E, and that becomes just all of a sudden so complicated to talk about that specific link online and make sure that you spell right and make sure people actually go to the right website. Don't take out syllables. Don't get too creative. It just becomes this whole complicated situation when it comes to you verbally or even physically, right? Sharing address or sharing your name where people just don't know how to spell it. So don't get too creative with your names. Make sure it's the words that people know. I know the big brands out there are getting creative, but hey, they have millions of dollars supporting their marketing campaigns. So it makes it quite easy for them to update their name and get their word out there. For us folks who are just starting on the shoestring budget, just be descriptive. Don't get too creative. And then make sure it's available. So I showed you a great tool, namechecker.com. So make sure that .com is available, not the .ui .site, .something else, but .com. It's the easiest way for search engines to actually find you, as well as it's the easiest way to type on the phone, as .com is actually just a button on the keyboard on every phone versus anything else you have to type out. Also, it's just something that people are used to. Right, so when you tell your website is .com, people just know that that's .com. They've been to zillion .com sites, but even .ca for those of you who are in Canada, even .ca. Sometimes I tell people a .ca website, and Americans ask me what that is because they're just not sure. So make sure that your business name is available on social media platforms. It's available on .com for a domain name, as well as any kind of trademarks. So you might want to check that. And depending on which country you're in, it's going to be a different process. And if you're completely stuck, so you don't know what to name your business, you're sitting there and you're just spinning, put together a brainstorming team. Now, your best brainstorming team is going to be your clients. So really, people who are already working with you, if you can get few of them to a dinner or snacks or just brainstorming session, invite them over, sit down and start brainstorming some ideas with them, as they're already people who bought into what it is you're about and what services you provide. They're the best feedback that you can get. If not, find people in business or other entrepreneurs who are just like you and get them to help you. Really, it's just a matter of sitting down with a whiteboard, with a notebook, notepad, and coming up with the keywords that you want to own. So really, in our business, there's specific keywords and key phrases that we decided that we want to own in the industry. And you can do the same simply by choosing it to be your business name. Then check the spelling, especially if you take out spaces. Sometimes I've still seen business names, when you take out spaces between the words, people misread the words and it becomes something highly inappropriate. So take out spaces, see if anything jumps out at you, run it by some of your friends, some of your clients, some of your business friends, and just make sure they don't read it in any other ways that you want them to, as well as say it out loud. Again, saying your name out loud, you got to make sure that it's memorable, it's easy to pronounce, and it's something catchy, right? So make sure there's no double A's or double O's in your name that don't belong there between the words, and it just makes sense. So just by simply saying it out loud, take out the spaces, run it by a few people, make sure there's no other meanings to the words or to the sounds, and that should really help you. And check acronyms. So if you're using more than one word, like Profitable Impact Academy is PIA, which really didn't mean anything. But we've had business names in the past with some of my clients where when you took words of their business or their offer specifically, and you made it an acronym, it made it an STI. So that was not a good acronym to use. We instantly renamed that that offer. So check the acronym for your business name. Make sure it's nothing inappropriate or nothing that stands for a different business, different meaning that you don't want to stand for. And I don't even know what it, oh, don't limit your business with your name. So here's the thing, and like I gave you an example of $1 Million Sisterhood, which was our original name, and it limited us specifically to working with women. And once we decided that we want to include men to be a part of our mission, we had to rename the whole brand. So make sure that you're not putting yourself in the box in case you decide to actually expand and grow your business or change your target market. So again, it needs to be generic, but not too generic, so it still describes what you stand for. And check those acronyms. Those are important. I hope you enjoyed this. Give me a yes if this was good info, if it's going to help you. Those questions are going to help you with your business name or your future business name. And I'm super excited to continue sharing with you. Bye.